Crimson Chin, come to holler at you. So I'm coming over from TikTok. This is pretty much my second platform I'm starting. So what a lot of people have asked for is they want to know a good rundown of my 1977 Chevy 3500. It is a single wheel, but from factory, I guess it was a dually, but when I picked the truck up, it was already a single wheel. Now, just to elaborate on it, before we really get into the weeds on this thing, is my goal for this truck is to potentially get it to Mecum next year, or maybe another auction, or if, the pandemic gets out of marketplace, maybe I'll just sell this truck that route, depending on the kind of content I can get out on it, and, kind of the following I can get for this truck. So, obviously, with a caliber build of that scale, I've done a full frame-off restoration with this truck. Now, I did not get a rust-free cab with the truck. The truck, actually, it needed some rocker work. It did not need cab corners. It did need a little love with, like, the cab mounts and whatnot. Nothing too crazy. Now this truck come from the Midwest, Indiana to be exact. Okay, so if you're from the Midwest, you already know. Rust up here is like an HIV. It's going to stay with you. Okay, so my body man, my boy Ethan Steeman, he spent a lot of time getting the cab right, getting the bed right. Now the bed, I did get very fortunate because in all reality, I traded a Gixxer 1000 four-wheeler that did not run for this truck. Okay, it came with 2 rust-free doors, 2 doors that were rotted. It didn't come with good fenders, didn't come with a good hood. If I'm being honest, the hood, let me tell you, it makes a hell of a shelf. Okay? But I traded that for this truck in like $1,500. So my beginning investment was maybe $3,000. Okay? So the truck has, so the bed and the cab have both already been completely ridden of rust. They've both been prepped, painted. They have not been wet sanded. Okay, neither of the two have been wet sanded yet. So if we look close, now, mind you, I've had this truck for a year, okay? There's dust on it, okay? Something with dust on it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Just like some of y'all's old ladies. Knock the dust off, it's good as new. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, oh, there we go. So, I don't know how well you guys might be able to tell the blue. It is, in all reality, kind of like my 2026 King Ranch that is argon blue. Okay, now, I'm not trying to get off topic, but let me tell you, you got to get these things in a single tone. You two-tone them. I'm not big on that Mars Gray. I know it's pretty hyped up right now. A lot of people, they just, they really start that color. Dude, it's the color of sand. It's not that significant. But back to the Squarebody. So between a few marketplace deals, I have about 10 doors because I bought a set from some shyster out of Indiana, a full 4-door set with all the windows busted out of them. Let me see if I can make my way over to them. But so the reason I bought them is because they have all the electronics. And obviously in a crew cab, it is dramatically more convenient to be able to roll the windows down that way. But as you can see, busted out windows. That one, I guess, does not have a busted out window. I already have the other 2 doors broken down, the glass out of one of them. But then, so none of those 4 blue doors were rust-free, not a one. I bought them just for the electronics. I think I bought them for $250 or something. And the guy brought them from over an hour away. But then I sourced 2 rust-free doors from, I think, Kentucky. Because anybody that knows something about restoring these old trucks, if you buy remand panels, they typically don't fit good. Okay, so if you can, buy OE stuff. Now, while I'm praising OG parts, here are my reman fenders. Okay, there's a guy selling them on Marketplace. They were a steal of a deal. I literally bought 2 good 100% new fenders for the same price that I sold my 2 beat up fenders that were on the Squarebody. Mind you, this dude did like the old baseball. Oh man, my hair's cooked. He did like the old baseball bat trick with your tire, you know, to like kind of spread the fenders, make them like a wide body kit, you know, kind of like a hipster. Did not work out good, but some kid, he really freaking wanted them. Now, I do have a mint, let me tell you, mint tailgate. I got it for 75 bucks. Now, our original plan with this truck, we were just going to single tone it, but then we figured out this thing's longer than a Monday, you know, because CREWCAB long bed square body trucks are about, I don't know, 28 feet when you include the bumpers and whatnot. We weren't going to paint the bed. We were going to bed line it. Now, we have decided we are going to paint the bed because we're trying to make this a high dollar truck. Along with that, I mean, the truck came with a good core support, good back window. It slides. The sliding ones just don't look as good. They rattle. They have their own deficiencies. So I know a guy, I'm going to just trade him. I'm going to get me a single pane through and through glass back window. So going to paint the bed. Now we're actually going to two-tone the truck because when we just imagined all this blue, dude, it's going to look like a big old blueberry coming at you. Do you feel me? It's just the single tone of blue is just going to be too much. So if you guys want to comment on here, what do you think would be a good two-tone? We're thinking going retro because on the interior, 100% plan is to get like a TMI. Or I've seen other places that do crazy cool interior, like Niche, I think it is, Customs. They were at SEMA in 2024, I believe, maybe 2025. There's a lot of crazy brands, but anybody that's looked into those high-end interiors, they are freaking, my interior alone is going to run like 11 grand, maybe better. And that's obviously not install time. That's not putting speakers in it, which I plan to do all of that because the goal for this truck is to be as modernized as possible, but have that old school feel, okay? Because that's what everybody wants. That's what really draws money. People have talked to me about, dude, just put a Denali interior in it or a High Country. Listen, that stuff's cool, but find me a reference that pulled $80,000+ at an auction or somewhere, because that's not what high-end clientele is looking for, or people that are wanting to spend buku cash on these kinds of trucks. So back to painting the inside of the bed, two-toning this. Also, like I said earlier in the video, we're going to make this baby a dually. Because the thing is, you can't go wrong with a fat ass on a truck. Okay? Did you feel me? Now, if you don't follow me on TikTok, you want to see something with a fat old dumper on it? Go look at my steel body 6.7. Okay? It's one of the fattest steel body dualies on the net. I'll say one of, although there's plenty of people out there, they're trying to give me the title. I'm not here to rage bait people. If you got a real fat steel body, okay, I don't know. But I promise you, I'm in the top contenders, which is cool. Which my steel body, if you do follow me on TikTok, which I know probably just about every single one of my subscribers right now come from TikTok. God bless you guys. God bless y'all that have just found me just looking on YouTube. God bless you, your families. Praise Jesus. Amen. So back on the Squarebody. For the interior, if you look up TMI interiors, I'm really thinking like the saddle brown. The saddle color, it's like the tan that they've put in a lot of the limiteds. But it's got like a rustic look. Man, it's a 10 out of 10. Let me tell you, looks good. Because black is just kind of bland if you're trying to build something really high end. You know, in the dark browns, it's just not really it. Although I love brown. Mind you, King Ranch. But also, another thing that helps these old trucks pull killer cash is LS swaps. Okay? Now, if you're a carb guy, there's no shame in it. Okay? But the thing is, the convenience, the reliability, the amount of power you can make per dollar is unmatched for an LS motor. Sorry, filled up my iPhone storage. This has happened before, okay? I'm trying to manage a couple platforms, lots of different aspects of content, all right? But it is backed by a 6L90E. Yes, not a 6L80E, not a 4L. It is a 6L90E. Both of those I was able to get from my boy Steamo. Now, the transmission and the engine both had a recorded less than 40,000 miles on them because I wanted to get fresh, good ones. The transmission has a Circle D converter. I think it has a 2800 stall in it, 2800 to 3200, one or the other, I think. Now, I did obtain that from Michigan Motorsports for the engine. It has the lumberjack cam, not the high lift one. It also has a full valve train between push rods, springs, retainers, whole works. It also has long tube headers, and it has a Ling Long, not really. It has some kind of high ram intake on it that I got off the internet, because the sheet metal ones, if you don't know anything about the sheet metal intakes for LS motors, it makes the valve train loud and noisy, and you'll hear it from the engine bay. Now, obviously, if you're buying some high dollar vehicle, even if you're putting that on your 5th gen, your CTSV, like if you're going to switch it over to boosted, like whatever kind of format, even your Silverado, I don't want to hear a noisy valve train. Now, the truck motor also has new lifters, all new gaskets from pan to intake manifold. Obviously, it has a DOD AFM delete, and then like fuel rails. It has new 52-pound injectors, the full works. So the truck should make, mid 400s to the crank. It might make 400 wheel, so it might be a little different from that. But it'll run good. Now, the truck, the rear end, obviously it's getting switched out, but those old school dually rear ends, they have like 456s or something belligerent. So I had to get a 6-speed transmission. With this being a dually, it's going to be, 7,500 plus pounds of truck. Okay, so this isn't going to be a race car. It'll be enough to be fun. You can drive it normal. It's not going to be like a lot of classics where, you got to cruise at 45 and stuff like that. So this is to be just all out clean. Now, right now, we're trying to figure out whether we two-tone, body line down, if we do the round two-tone that goes around the duals. It keeps the round pattern to the front, wraps around in the front fender. Lots of different options. Now, while we're talking about the front. Now, sadly, with my dark lighting, because here it is, 10 p.m. So I did just get my hood the other day. It is a 2-inch cowl from AMD. Shout out to my boy Jaron. He picked that up for me because it was 2 hours away, straight from Summit. Now, my boy Jaron, he is from Oklahoma, and he's been to the Summit down in Texas. Let me just say, he did acknowledge the fact that Southern hospitality is a lot more prominent down there, because the Summit here, he did not have a very good review for. Very next day, he went and got a new hood for my boy Steamo for his, 78 Firebird. He's doing a little Smokey and a Bandit car. Let me tell you, thing is sick. Just wait till I get some content on that. Now, a lot of people, now you might be wondering, why would you build something that could be this immaculate, it's going to hurt nothing, and you not hold on to it? Now, if you know me from TikTok, or if you don't, my thing is, my whole life, probably 16 plus years, I've been buying, building, selling vehicles. I have lost money on vehicles. I have made money on vehicles. And now, being old enough, having kids, a wife, the only thing that makes sense for me to stay in vehicles, staying financially secure, is it just doesn't make sense for me if I'm going to buy them, build them, and lose money on them. I get cars are fun, There's a lot of outlets, but I work a lot. Most weeks, 7 days a week, whether it's just at my work or what I do as side work, flipping vehicles. I mean, there's a lot of alternatives I have. If it makes money, it makes sense. Amen. And that's how I've been for a long time. And that's what's given me a lot of security in my life, is I'm a lot of times working my life away, besides when I go on vacation with my family. Now, if I'm going to buy and build vehicles, I'm only going to do it if they're good deals. Now, selling this truck all in, I'm not going to tell you my final price, because obviously my objective in 6+ months is to sell this. I'm going to have a good amount of money in this, a good year's salary for a lot of people. Now, as I've said in my videos before, the baseline of this truck, what it would need to pull, I mean, it's going to nearly need to be the price of a brand new loaded Super Duty. And I totally get all the people out there that are enraged by that, but it's literally the cherishing of a perfection of work on a vehicle that you cannot find. That's why you can see them all over. These trucks, just old carb setups that are clean old rigs, they're still $30,000, $40,000, and there's nothing significant about them. They don't have a $10,000 interior. And I totally get it, guys, that's not going to apply to a lot of people. Okay? A lot of people are like, I don't need that. But the thing is there's people out there that they want some old classic vehicle that is to the gills built and custom, and you're not going to find another like it. But you got to have the right colors, the right kind of interior, something that sounds good, something that rides good. I mean, it's got to check every box, just like when you go out and buy a brand new truck. People are going to have all their criteria as to what it has to meet. So it's really no different, because something like this is an asset. If you buy a brand new F450 because you haul equipment, you know why you bought it? Because it's an asset. It makes your life easier. It makes you money. You buy an old classic like this, they could buy it from auction for $100,000. And you know what? In 10 years, they might be able to sell it for more. You just never know. It just depends on the niche that your build can equate to. So, like I was saying, there's not a truck, a car, anything that someone could sell me. Somebody could sell me my dream vehicle. And if I could make money on it, I would. I've had more than 50 vehicles, I believe, trucks and cars, motorcycles, things of all natures. And when I was younger, I'd get so hung up, get attached to them emotionally. And a lot of times, in the end, it'd just bite me in the ass. So that's why I'm an avid person. Buy stuff on deals, get them fixed up, make it right, sell it, make some money on it. On to the next one. It makes having cars so much more fun if you think about the aspect of, if you can do what you love by buying and building and experiencing cars and make money on it, there's not one thing that holds you back from continuing, because it's not going to hurt you. So that's the thing. Also, I didn't hit on it. The truck has a roll pan. I don't know how well you can see it back there. Okay, I filled it again. This is my first time doing a YouTube video. I had no idea how long this was going to take. I figured this would be a 10-minute video. I'm pretty sure we've well exceeded that. But the gist of things, I'll keep you guys up to speed on the build of this Squarebody and show you how just a couple small-town old boys with a dream who have been doing these things for years have a chance, just like any small-town guy. If you guys got a dream, build it. This is us shooting for the stars. We don't know if this could go good, if it could go bad. But thankfully, I have the financial ability, and I have somebody that has the workmanship ability for us to chase this opportunity, at least for once in our life. Because all the best opportunities you could ever find are going to require you at some point to jump. And it's going to be your choice, whether you stand still or you do something that is pretty frightening and you don't know if it's going to be a home run or if it's going to be a failure. But it's worth a shot. Everything's worth a shot. So praise Jesus, cherish your families, and you have a beautiful night. Thanks for watching my first episode on the Crimson Chin channel on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, please comment. I do my very best, just like on TikTok. I keep up with thousands of comments and DMs, okay? Although YouTube doesn't send notifications, so I'm gonna have to go through them. But I promise I'll be checking. If you got anything constructive to say, go ahead, say it. You don't like it? Cool, go ahead, say it. I'll just say something back. But other than that, you guys have a blessed evening, and I'll talk to you soon. And make sure, if you want the funny stuff, you go check me out on TikTok. And it's just Crimson Chin, not the one, Crimson Chin. Amen.